President Akufo-Addo has urged Ghanaians to embrace domestic tourism as that equally has the potential to turn the country's tourism sector around. Addressing Ghana's 62nd independence anniversary parade at Tamale, the president noted the country has significant tourism potential that can position it along countries like the United Arab Emirates.
We have a beautiful country, and it deserves to be explored and admired. Apart from the joy of discovering the beauty and charms of our country, getting to know Ghana helps to dispel the prejudices of the unknown. Those who have means to do so should consider it more important to travel around and know Ghana before they embark on the next vacation to Dubai. It means, of course, that the Tourism Authority has its work cut out. If they get it right with internal Ghanaian tourists, then they'll be ready to cope with foreign tourists. I urge those who live in the big cities in particular to get around the country a little. It might just change their outlook and make them a little more tolerant of the difficulties that we need to overcome. I congratulate the people of Tamale for being such gracious hosts. This has never been done before, and doubtless we shall learn from the experience. The success of the Tamale experience may, however, set the trend for the rotation of this ceremony.
Well, my colleague Charles Aite has been interacting with renowned economist Joe Abe about the performance of our economy from independence till date. Now, the economist believes that there can be massive reforms and that will push value for money.
We celebrate the 62nd independence anniversary of Ghana. I'm the resident of renowned economist Dr. Joe Abe to have a discussion on the economy of the country, how we fared, and the way forward. 62 years after independence, do you think we're there economically independent?
Of course not. The donors of aid rationally, like the Marshall Plan, rationally had their own reasons for extending a helping hand. It is not unusual for people who help somebody to have their own objectives. It may be nothing more than that you're being at peace with yourself is good for me. It could be that I'd like you to say positive things about me and perhaps even to adopt my lifestyle, culture, form of governance. Whatever the case is, the reality is that people who extended aid to Ghana had their own interest too, and therefore used the aid to promote the objectives for their giving as the aid.
Beyond this argument, I mean, you have lived through the years. You have seen governments come and government go. You have read through various economic policies, whatnot. But all these interventions all throughout these years have been aimed towards developing our economy.
Yes.
Definitely. What do you think we missed out throughout this whole journey?
Yes, I think that we are there now. I have a lot of hope. Now, the main thing that has been the case is that our development journey, whether progress and wherever it was more in the colonial time or not, our development journey has been too costly and in some instances slow. But we are making progress, and that is what gives me hope.
When you say costly, what do you mean?
Well, sometimes there have been, like political costs have been high. We have been inefficient in our use of resources. So again, you find that we spend a lot of money, supposedly on infrastructure, but look at the state of infrastructure. And whatever name we call it, the fact of the matter is we seem to pay a lot more for a lot of projects than the actual gain we make, that we realize. And then we have a poor maintenance record. We reached a point where there was a question of credibility. We have been talking about our own homegrown policies. We have gone to Senchi. Some of us come up with the so-called Senchi consensus. The truth is this, as politicians would have been listening, outsiders were not believing us.
Could you help us understand, I mean, share with us the 5 major things that you wish we prioritize as an economy moving forward?
Well, I think that, like again, the president has said that he will choose the present generation to political interests or future generation to. I think we need to put substance to it. We need to hold ourselves to it. We may need to take stock. So the first thing is to make sure that our internalizing of fiscal discipline is credible. Okay, that's the first thing. Especially as we exit and as we move towards the elections. The second thing is that whatever little we have that we spend, we must insist on value for money.
62 years old, and as part of the 62nd Independence Day celebration, there's a huge crowd at this year's Adum TV Fufu party. It can't be described as a massive improvement on last year's numbers. Now, the event has attracted scores of businesses and other services who obviously have made some serious gains. Now, as usual, as a requirement for the Fufu party, the sale of the Asanka, and this year also generated some massive popularity. Karen Dodu has been looking at some innovative ways Asanka dealers market their wares to cash in on the Fufu party.
Different shapes and sizes, these earthenwares were brought all the way from several parts of the country to be sold at the Adum Fufu party. This year, many more joined the sale to cash in on the party.
Me who say Asanka no be 100 or how many bisa so fi na beto Asanka no ha.
I just feel quite price.
Na wo ba na Asanka ba ko he na de buy.
The buy 200 and I buy
200. Now do he na waton.
They say buy the market na about 50. Me the many firm I to buy 50.
Na o se market aye basa ade na o sha ngofo akasa de amo Asanka buy ana.
Ata say
me say o se market na aye basa ngofo de amo Asanka buy ana.
The bia ba you akokofo aba tuntum fo aba ya doso. It ama ne tone nya wa 50 penana ya to.
Na last year buy.
Last year pa.
Na last year net saying.
Oh na ye. Last year nipa na until bebre sa. It ya tade fan this year there obi a tell bia ba.
Na wo say ade na just efe na go na so. Na ade nsan o susu say bia ade besa na at least what on be ahen.
Na me ada woro man to ama. Ye wie party ye bibia wie nko be ye ne 3 to 4 ne de na urade aboa mani nyina asa.
Na he na besa wo ton.
Ahe
na pesa wo ton ade besa ne dodo be na pesa wo ton.
Me wa ire hye se bia be do be 5 be pon no. Na me 200 de na asa.
Okay, so that's Auntie Mary who came all the way from Nkoko to sell her Asanka. Now she's telling me that looks like this year many other traders have joined them to sell the Asanka. So it's not going as fast as she expected, but hoping that by 5 p.m. she'll be able to sell all the 200 earthenware bowls that she brought here to sell. Let's move on to some other traders. And another interesting thing selling today is the wedru. Now wedru is also a wooden mortar that people use to pound either cassava or palm nuts. And I have this couple here. Hello, madam. Pacho Michao. Pacho, mona moton wedru na wo hey. Pacho wedru no. Ahena mo de buy na ahena maton.
About 20 ni ato 5.
Na eja him say fufu de nkofo ba be di a ben de dana wedru na mo de buy na ma mo de buy.
About ye di ari ani be dwa na ye de kan buy.
So this couple, they are also from Nkoko, and they're telling me that, well, they thought it wise that if we have Asanka, we also have Aiwa, so just in case, sorry, we also have Wedru, so just in case somebody might want to buy that as well, they decided to bring their Wedru, also known as a mortar, and so far they've been able to sell 5 out of the 20 they brought.
For Mary, to stay on top of business, she adds some extra service, grounded pepper. And at the end of the day, she managed to sell all 200 Asankas.
Minim say last year man for the Asanka buy this year no me say me da kakadro ne mako garlic ene adanche no bi beka ho. Woto Asanka no me nchen na me twi ama wo. Wa nta me nchen me twi ma wa na me no akasa na ma gisika. Nti sa na me ya Asanka no koye.
Nti akakadro ne mako na ma wo de no koye ni.
Eno na ma ni na koye.
Inti menga say ne wo ba ha ne de umbo kan why profit pa.
My profit pa nyaminti my profit pa.
Let's say how many percent?
Oh. Niana me susane de mensaka.
So what this lady is telling us that she knew many people would come here to sell their Asanka. So she took a step further to add ground pepper to her Asanka. So when you buy Asanka for her, she'll just grind some pepper for you. So that you want your soup extra spicy, you can get that as a plus to buying her Asanka. So this is one of the main people who made sales here at the Adum Fufu party. Reporting for Joy News, Karen Dodu.
It's all happening here at the premises of Multimedia. Meanwhile, the spotlight has also been thrown on the evolving trend when it comes to the manufacturing of indigenous beverages. Retailers say local beverages have been accepted by Ghanaians for social events because of improved packaging and storage. They are not missing out on this year's Fufu party.
Among some of these non-alcoholic indigenous drinks on high patronage are Bissap juice, popularly known as Sobolo, Asana, Lamuji, Pito, and the sweet palm wine. They are increasingly becoming more popular among the youth as producers are introducing some amount of alcohol to the content. At this year's Adum TV special Fufu party, dealers in some of these local drinks were not missing out. The huge numbers at the party obviously provided a bigger market for the retailers. Some of them share their thoughts on the business at this year's party.
In the beginning, it wasn't easy accepting local bar for events, but now when you attend to events, people patronize it, they tend to take the local drinks even more than the foreign ones. It's less expensive compared to the other one.
Originally, patronage of the local drinks was low, mainly because many people were not sure about the way it was produced and stored. However, in recent times, these perceptions have been erased.
Sobolo can take a month, even you have added sugar, it can take, provided it's in the fridge, it can take a month. But for Lamoji and then Asana, when you add the sugar, it will ferment. So I don't advise to put sugar in it. You just put it in the fridge without sugar.
With all the efforts being made to package and store locally manufactured drinks, the future of the industry can only be said to be bright.
The local ones are very healthy for the soul. I prefer this more than the carbonated.
I prefer the local drinks because today is our 52nd Independence Day, right? I prefer to go for local. Yeah, what I want to say that we are Ghanaians, so we like to drink our local drink. It's good for the health. It's good for the body.
As we celebrate Ghana Month and mark our Independence Day, our local beverages cannot be left out. For Joy Business, Alberta Bisiu's report.
Let's take you next to the Ashanti region, where aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management say they are disappointed in how fund managers are treating their investments. According to them, officials of the company have compulsorily converted their short-term investments into long-term ones without their consent. They are worried that despite several assurances, they are still unable to access their funds. Prince Pierre has more in this report.
Some aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management today besieged the premises of the office in Kumasi. Their reason was to access their investment, some of which have been due since November last year. But for others, they were there to stop their investment due to challenges in accessing their funds. They are worried fund managers are also changing their investment portfolios without informing them. They are, however, calling on government to intervene in the situation.
Now, he's telling us that he is enrolling us to different investments, which we are not interested. Our group is unpaid Gold Coast Fund Management clients. We need our money. We don't want us to be enrolled in any investment policy. He cannot tell us how we should invest our money. So all that we need is that Papa Kwasi Indio should refund our money to us.
I have a sum of 19,000 over there. Right now, my investment was due on September 18th. Till now, I haven't received. September last year, I haven't received any penny. So I want to ask, how and when are we going to get our money? Besides the fund management, the new fund management which he is bringing in, we are not interested. I'm only interested in my money because my money was due last year. Before that, what I know was that SEC issued them for them to stop all the SF funds on June. They took my money on June. I don't know why they took it.
How can we, institutions like Bank of Ghana, we have SEC in this country, which are supposed to regulate the activities of Gold Coast Fund Management, and they have failed to do that. And also, they are looking at this man going ahead to change our investment, our short-term investment into long-term investment without them coming out to put him to order. What we are saying is it is time the institutions should rise up and work as they are expected to do, because there is a law that we call breach of contract, and on this law, Dr. Indum has failed.
Today is Tuesday, and they continue beseeching the premises of the Gold Coast Fund Management Office to see whether they can access their funds. They've been agitating, they've been worried about the fact that communication has been missing, in the fact that their monies are here and they are unable to access them. My name is Prince Apia, reporting from Kumasi.
And you're watching Business Live. Now, unsatisfied with what she calls a one-way corporate where Lauren Young decided it was time to explore her talent in fashion designing and abandon her dream job, all to bring a solution to the corporate woman's clothing needs. That's the birth of 825. That's our story tonight on the Joy Business Van.
Unique, classy, and chic. That's how Lauren Yerong, CEO of 825, describes her designs for everyday corporate women. Formerly a chartered banker, she knows how challenging it is sometimes for women in the corporate world to get good and unique clothing already made. After several unsuccessful experiences with local dressmakers to get these unique designs, Lauren took matters into her own hands. Lauren gradually grew her sewing skills to the point where her designs never went unnoticed or uncomplimented.
In fact, for a long time, I was wearing the same things to work because I was really not getting anything to buy. And then I asked myself one day that if I sew, so why don't I make my own work clothes? So I started making my own work clothes, and people were actually very excited about it. People really didn't even know that I was making the clothes myself. So people would see me and say, hey, where do you buy your things? They are very unique. And I told them that, hey, I showed it myself. Oh, some people didn't even believe me. They were like, oh, because I joke like that. They're like, and I'm like, oh, it's true. I saw it myself. They are like, no, they didn't believe it. So those who believed me, were interested. They were like, oh, make one for me.
After polishing her sewing skills with a one-year certificate course in fashion designing, 825 took full flight. It was then that she knew she had to make a choice: the banking hall or the sewing machine.
It was great. It was going very well. But then I was too stressed because this is very stressful. Banking is very stressful. And I'm the kind of person who doesn't like doing things half-half. If I'm doing something, I want to put my everything in it and I do it. So I can stand here sometimes from 4 a.m. till evening. Because I want to get the best. So I wasn't happy about how tired I was, because sometimes I'm tired here, I go to work, I'm tired. Then in the end, I wasn't putting my best in anything. I wasn't feeling fulfilled enough. So I decided that, okay, I have to stop one.
Of course, she chose the machine and is now fulfilling her dream of creating bespoke clothing for busy women. With her gifts in designing and her know-how in dressmaking, Lauren says she's able to blend the perfect fabric and designs to create the perfect dress, and has so far created over 30 designs.
Anytime we take the customer's measurements, we use it to do this bodice block. We always put it down. Anytime the customer wants to do something, you just pick this and then you sew. We've already measured the customer's waist. We've already measured her hip. We already know the length of the dress. So all that you do is that you pick it and then you just draw it out.
Okay.
There are some styles that if even the upper part is almost the same. So what you do is that anytime you want it, you just pick the upper part. So this is like a style line. This is like a boat neck that I've done.
Okay.
So anytime the customer wants to do something with a boat neck, you just pick this out. So if I like, when next time the customer comes something like a boat neck, I just pick this. So we don't throw them away. We have them all here.
Okay.
So next time, if it's the same upper part, you just pick it and do it.
Fashion designing is no escape from all the banking pressure, as Lauren admits. It's equally stressful, but worth it.
It's not easy, I won't lie to you. It's very difficult. Dealing with customers, waking up early. This job, sometimes I'm on my feet the whole day. Drawing patterns is not easy. Yes, I won't lie to you, but I think it's worth it. I mean, in the bank, I was stressing. So stressing here, I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, there's nowhere easy in life anyway, yeah, unless you don't want to work.
For entrepreneurs stuck in the corporate world, here's what Laureen has to tell you.
I feel like the corporate environment disciplined me to what I am now. I mean, I'll tell them that it's not bad to work for people. Just take your time. When the right time comes, you will know. Yes, when the right time comes, you will know. I mean, working for people even helps you to save, to start up whatever you want to start. So it's really not bad working for people, but if you really want to leave, when the right time comes, you will know.
And that's our program tonight. My name is Daryl Kwal. Thanks for watching and happy Independence Day once again.